What? Hi. You're watching Can't Stop, Should Stop, a podcast about things that we enjoy.
That was perfect.
I'm Neil.
And I'm Bailey.
I'm Pete.
And we're... this week we're going to talk about the happenings at festivals over the summer and what we're up to this fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Will we do that? Find out.
Find out more.
Yeah, if you've been watching these, it's clear that sometimes we're more structured than other times. So we'll see how this goes.
And what a coincidence. We were wearing the same clothes
Can't
as
even
last
imagine.
episode.
How did
Well,
that
I
happen?
try to wear the same clothes all the time.
You were wearing that shirt when you did Fun Gutter.
I'm pretty sure I wear...
Oh, yeah.
I have like 3 shirts.
Same. I've had people
cycle in
comment me
and out.
now. They're like, do you only own that Slayer t-shirt that we see in every fucking clip online? I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
If something's being recorded or like a good photographer there, I somehow always end up in the same shirt.
I feel weird like wearing like logos or anything when I'm on stage. I don't know.
I used to have an issue with that, and then I was, I just went,
Well,
Oh.
now I want to do it more because bands are starting to notice it.
That
Oh.
was a big thing, actually. 2 different bands were like, yo. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
The guitar
Really?
player from Gate Creeper has like reached out to me and talked to me and stuff like that.
The-
So I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna wear band shirts nonstop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
and tag
cool.
them.
The dude from Cognitive came to a show and brought me more
Nice, that's what I want.
Cognitive stuff.
No shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
now we talk all the time. Yeah.
All right. So you're just shilling.
I mean, I'm already wearing it, so I might as well use it to my advantage.
That's fair.
He tours with bands. I want to tour with bands.
I mean, I do want to do
Touring
that
bands
as
is fucking
well.
awesome.
I just want to just because some death metal bands take me out on a fucking tour. I don't know how they're. Honestly, crowds probably would suck, but
Yeah, so that's
don't
a
ca-
fear.
don't care.
Because I've spoken to a couple of those bands that I'm friends with to be like, yo, I want to go out. And they're like, yo, we want to take you out. But then I'm like, ugh, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you're one of theirs. So
Yeah.
maybe it's fine. As long
I
as
would
they
give
know,
it a shot.
Yeah, as long as they know you're going to be there.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed is always an issue on like
Oh, and it's a
on
surprise.
other shows. If I just come out and just start talking, people are like, why is the sound guy talking to us? You know?
Yeah.
But I think, if you're advertised properly, like if it's like internal bleeding, Sanguisugabog, comedian Neil Rubenstein,
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Sango
I mean-
Sugar Bob is awesome.
Does it ever
That's
just
the tour I
like?
want to do. Yeah.
Oh my god, they just followed me recently too,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was
they're
like,
fucking awesome.
fuck.
They're awesome. And they're funny.
Yeah.
Like they're funny. And they're boys with my dude in Eternal Bleeding, so
Oh,
I'm
nice.
kind of like,
Trying
I would
to.
love to make this happen.
Let's do it. What if
Do you feel like it goes well enough that you like still want to do more? Like you try to like increase.
I mean,
how
even
many
when it
bands?
goes terrible, I still want to do more.
I still want to do it too.
I did Bayside I Am the Avalanche at and Koyo at the Paramount on Long Island,
Koyo rules.
and it went terribly.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, can't wait for next time.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
feel-
just a bad show opening for a band in front of 1,500 people is better than any bar show in New York
Especially
City.
like
Sure.
then like I get to enjoy this band that I fucking
Yeah, I get to
like.
hang out with my homies.
Yeah, and I
Dudes
feel
in
like
Koyo rule.
Koyo is awesome.
Fucking, and that show was like a super cool hang because it was like all Long Island bands. So like tons of my dudes were in the backstage hanging out, like pre-show, post-show, like it was just fucking dope. So like even if the 10 minutes on stage are like kids screaming Avalanche, you're like, all right, I'll be fine. It's like a tough 10 minutes, but like I've done Grizzly Pear.
Sure.
I can
yeah.
do.
I just did Grizzly Pear
I can
last
do
night.
anything.
Yeah.
How terribly did it go?
It was fine. It was
Yeah.
fun. I headlined, but I wasn't the last comic.
I've enjoyed some shows there, but like
This is the
it
first
just
time I did
has-
it.
Oh
Ever.
yeah.
First time.
Wait, did you do Midtown or the original? Oh, okay.
I think the Midtown one is better, from what I hear.
It was a Monday.
It's
so I was-
nice.
it was.
It's
yeah.
really nice.
It was Monday. Maybe 30 people, 40 people.
But it's like that Midtown crowd is like, I mean, like
Yeah, I know what
LOL
you're saying.
and
I
like
know
that
what
like
you're-
kind
I know
of
what you're
crowd, you know.
LOL at the late nights at LOL were.
It's a brutal scene.
I don't know. I guess I feel like for like mid, especially like Sango Bob, they like because they are funny too.
That-
Maybe their crowd would be more.
That's the most important thing. So
open
like,
to it.
I've always said like, I love the dudes in Thursday. I love the band Thursday. I don't want to tour with Thursday.
The music's too serious.
It's the
Yeah.
audience is a bunch of sad sacks.
Yeah.
No, they're all great fans.
You need that kind of music, but
Yeah,
there's some
yeah.
that comedy's just
Yeah,
not going to
yeah,
go
yeah,
well
yeah.
with. I feel like
Same thing with LS Dunes.
Yeah.
Like I just know what that audience is going to be.
I feel like
Yeah.
with the right death metal bands, because I think enough death metal bands nowadays realize this is inherently goofy
yeah.
and are willing to like kind of play
Sure.
into it. So like it'll be fun.
I mean, I run into that like issue when I'm booking bands for Fun Gutter. Like, there's bands that I would love to like do something with.
Yeah.
But like, I would feel like Dreamwell is a band that like I found that like is a little bit more, as Neil would say, noise.
Yeah.
But like their content, it's like too serious and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
too real, and I
Yeah.
feel like it'd be like shitting on what they're about.
Yeah. It's like it would be
jokes.
like the difference between like going out with like like Sanguisugabog versus like Hers Collective.
Yeah.
Where it's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
everything's so serious and
Yeah.
important.
It's like everything's
And it's
super
like-
political.
Yeah, and it's like
I
it's awesome and I love
feel
it.
like you and I could do hers collective.
I mean, we could
Yeah.
for sure, but like,
But I think the audience would just be like
Yeah.
too serious. Oh, maybe not. Maybe
I
not.
don't know.
'cause
I
he's-
feel like hers collective. It
What-
depends.
what's-
Depends on the
what's-
comic. To be honest.
What's the pronoun there for the singer?
I don't even know.
All right, whatever. I think their style is pretty like chaotic. So
Yeah.
maybe
It would have to be the
maybe
right comic.
not.
You're not just gonna put any comic on that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
It would be
yeah.
to be certain people.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That's
No, but again, like I would. That would definitely be one of the top of my things I want to do, and that's why I've been trying to lean more into the metal and stuff like that because I don't know. It'd just be cool. Would it go great all the time? Probably not. But
No,
it seems like a
definitely
bit better than I've done plenty of shit shows. So like,
I'm surprised there's not more of it. You know, you think like,
Cause throughout time there have been a bunch, but like
most comics are little indie pussies.
I feel like when I go out, people say like, "Oh, this is such a great idea. Why don't people do it more?" And
Sure.
I'm like, I don't know, man. Like this isn't my idea.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Yeah.
I'm the one doing it the most right now, but like,
You're the one I
That's
think
like-
of.
yeah, so like I
but
mean,
like Brian Posehn,
Brian
you
Posehn's
know,
done it. Bob
Johnny
Goldthwait-
Taylor. Do
Yeah.
you know Johnny Taylor?
No.
He's Northern California. He's done a bunch of music stuff, but he's also like tight with Brian Posehn, stuff like
Like,
that.
I-
and he does,
Bobcat opened for Nirvana.
no shit.
sick.
Yeah.
Well, I know like
Big
Florida-
J,
That's
Korn.
that makes so
Big
that
J,
makes
I
sense.
remember
Jim Brewer,
did
Metallica.
Big J was on the Mayhem Festival like years
Oh,
ago.
but he was on the stage outside when people were walking in. That's really tough.
Oof.
But Big Joe,
well, I
Big,
saw
Big
him.
J
He
is
was
right
on
for
the
that.
side. It was a side stage, but it
was a
was
side
still,
stage.
There's two big ass side stages. Side stages where it still had like fucking big names on it.
oh.
And then he was at the main stage as well later
Or
on.
maybe it was Ozfest who was like outside.
Yeah, probably because
in the parking
Ozfest
lot.
Mayhem came a little after
Yeah,
Ozfest.
yeah, yeah.
But I know like Florentine's done it, like stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember someone told me a story about Florentine where it's like they were like, just go like hype the bands, and then he was like, no, I'm gonna do my material. Like he tried that for like a week, and then after that he just went up and hyped the bands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was ready, but like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like Big J probably would just get up there
Just
and
do
roast
his
the
thing.
shit out
Yeah,
of
yeah,
people,
yeah,
and
sure.
Oh, look at this guy over here. Yeah.
Yeah. he's super quick. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
and he belongs
Brilliant.
in that world.
So
Oh,
bands, take us out.
Ian Finance, I know, opens for some bands.
Sure, yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Or he'll just at the shows just singing for the band.
To be fair, Ian and Jordan's podcast is why I decided that we should try to change the setup
Oh no shit.
and like something a little bit more visually. It's just something.
Yeah.
So I mean, like when you do the like a music show, like do you ever like do people actually like end up following you because of it,
you
or
just said it like you've never been to
the
a
music show? Well, that's I
When
hate
you guys do your little skits at
When-
the
These
music
These tattoos are all
concert,
fake.
I have to put these on every day.
It's exhausting.
No, like you
I
feel like
do-
you get
I
like
do-
traction from
I
the
do
people.
way better social media wise, and like not. I'm not like shitting on comedy fans. Comedy fans are great, and like I love that they're like
Fuck you.
that they're like more cerebral about stuff. Like they they recognize things. They're like, oh, I love how you do this, or like do this, right? But music fans, they're loyal.
Sure.
Like if you're a Taking Back Sunday fan, you've been with them for years, and you're you're their anthem, and they're going to play you at the wedding, and that carries over. Like they're like, oh, like you know, this guy opened for them, or these bands opened for them, so now we follow these bands. You know,
It's also oh, you're one of us kind of thing too.
There's definitely that.
Yeah.
I think especially, I mean, in all real, like as we get older and we stay like connected to this world, there's like a real special thing when you see somebody else who's also not let go.
Yeah.
You know, I was driving to do a
Podcast is
show.
living proof of
Someone
that.
who also
that's,
should
that's
stop.
the whole point
Can't
of
stop.
can't stop, should stop. I was driving to do a show in Salem recently, and I stopped at like a Target to get an inflatable mattress for my car, and I was like pushing a cart, and I saw a guy with a Dreamwell shirt, and he was with his girlfriend, and then it got weird because I was talking to him and not her, and she was like not cool about it, but like still, like I was just like, oh, you're a stranger, but like fuck, I this is one thing we have in common. I was like pumped, and I feel like especially as you get older, you're like, it's a special connection.
I don't know if I said it on the pod or before we got started, but I've had like several metal or punk and hardcore people who went into comedy message me after the special came out on EVR to be like, yo, like that's, you know what I mean?
Have you noticed a lot of it, like maybe just in other areas, like from other parts of the country, like former, like people, well, I guess not former, but metal and hardcore, or like punks who are like now in comedy? Or is it?
Yeah, because they always come up to you. Like, I mean, but you guys probably get that too.
Yeah,
where, like
yeah.
they come up to you like, oh, "Hey, we're."
I found like maybe, at least like in yours, it's in a lot of like, oh, I used to, but then I have like no connection to it anymore.
For sure.
I found a lot of that.
Well,
more so.
you guys know Ben Roy?
I know that name.
Nope.
I'm actually pitching him a tour. The three of us.
Oh, right. That we talked about.
Sweet.
No offense,
That's still cool.
but just three people. I'm
I
sorry.
still say sweet because it's
Okay,
cool.
okay. I just realized that I'm like, I probably could have said four people.
It wasn't weird until you made it weird.
Yeah, I made it weird.
Yeah.
But so Ben currently sings for a punk band called The Spells, and like when we were both on the festival together, and like everyone at the festival was like, "Oh, you know Ben? You know Ben?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Like what we talked about, like one of those early episodes,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like, "You guys know each other?" Like,
Yeah.
we fucking know each other. But I didn't. We didn't know each other, and so I went up to him after the show, and I was like, "Ben," he's like, "You must be Neil," and I was like,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I got when I was traveling around. It happened while I was traveling, but like, just this guy reached out to me from Washington. He's a gay metalhead, but like, he's a singer of a band. He runs a metal festival in like Yakima, Washington. But he recently, like the local Pride organization, sponsored it, and he was like messaging me about, hey, do you think like next year, if we fly you out, pay and stuff like that, you come do comedy at the festival? And I was like,
Hell yeah.
fuck yeah, that seems like a fucking rule. And now, thanks to like the Portland shows in San Fran, like I want to try to make like a whole run of it, you know, through the West Coast. So I was like, yeah, stuff like that. I want to do shit like that too.
my buddy Luke Severide, who I've mentioned on this.
Yes.
he
should talk about someone we should have on.
He's he's like someone you should hook up with when you're in.
I definitely like to. I recently became friends with Derek Sheen, who was Poseidon's opener for like 10 years.
He's great.
Yeah, because I did a show in Portland and he was on it as well.
I met him in Alaska. I mean, it was just like, he killed in a really weird room.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. But yeah, he's coming out this way not too long as well. But yeah, I know because I've seen his stuff like all over the place.
Yeah, Luke blew up. He's like the metal comedy crossover
God
guy.
damn
Yeah. They
Beat me to it.
They flocked to because he has like jokes about has jokes about like mosh pits and like you know growing up metalhead and growing up religious and becoming a metalhead. Mm-hmm. He's got a really great bit about like where do you think this came from? Like you had a guy nailed to a wooden cross, like we're drinking his blood. He's like,
have you worked with him?
Yeah. Me and Luke have toured. We toured. We might have done we definitely done a bunch of dates together. We might have toured together. I definitely, when I was he stayed with me in Oklahoma. I stayed with him in Seattle. I actually stayed with him when he wasn't like he was on the road, and I stayed in Seattle in his place. And when I was on the Motion City tour, he used my car to drive around the South. So yeah, we're buds.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised that there's not more like punk metal people that get into comedy because it is
yeah.
very
Yeah.
in a real way. It's very synonymous.
I feel like it's starting to surface more and more. I think like maybe it wasn't as noticed for a second. I don't know. I feel like now I'm noticing it more, or maybe people are sending me more stuff, being like, "Hey, do you know this guy? This guy does what you do." And it's like, not really, but yeah, I get it. You know, they're like, all right.
The pigeonholing me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I've noticed a ton where it's like, oh wow, there's like more of us kind of thing.
So this. I'll use this as the example. Like Ian Fidance, you never would have been like, oh, he's a punk hardcore comedian,
Yeah.
right? But lately, he's like been leaning into that.
Yeah.
And so
Did you see he like sang with?
Yeah, same with H2O, right. But that's like, so now he's like leaning into it more, and you're like, so that's why I think it's like it's just coming out more now.
Yeah.
Sure,
Like, people
sure.
weren't being like, I'm a punk hardcore. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I wasn't saying like I'm an emo comedian. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
saying that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It just happened that like when I started. touring with
You're a
bands,
noise comedian.
When I
I
started
don't
touring
know.
with bands, it started making like a little bit of mattering to a few people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, very.
I
Few.
made my Instagram thing Metal Pete Comedy, so that kind of stuck on me
Yeah.
quickly. I don't know. See, I don't know. It seemed like the way to go. There's either gay Metal Pete Comedy now.
That's too long.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just lean into what you are, right?
But it's also
I
it's
don't
like I
know.
genuinely love that shit. So like, you
Yeah.
know, I like having it being a part of my life.
Yeah.
I like talking about it. Even if I don't talk about it on stage, and I really don't. There's a few jokes I've done over the years. But I like when I'm off stage, I like posting about it, talking about it,
Yeah.
like, you know, making content about it.
I like big upping my friends, and
Yeah.
they happen to be in bands and they're
Yeah.
comedians. So it's like, I'll big up Bailey, I'll big up fucking Common Sage or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck, So
I also think that like I remember when I got into punk like at like 14, when I started going to like not Christian punk shows is when I like realized like the community energy of going to punk shows and like really understanding. Feels really cheesy to talk about, but like the actual idea of a mosh pit is like really kind of a beautiful thing because it's like supposed to be about like community and
Yeah.
about like letting shit out and everything. And the only time after like my early exposure to like music scenes that I had a real wild sense of community was when I got into comedy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I agree that it's a similar vibe, like as far as the like us versus them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like when you meet a comedian, like we understand the world differently than other people understand.
And you
the
don't do
world.
it. You don't do it if you like
Stoked.
aren't. Yeah, like if you're not obsessed with it, you quit.
for
For
sure.
sure. Especially you see how many people do. Like, it's crazy.
For sure.
You know, in kind of on 9 years, how many people I've seen just like not doing it at all. And
Yeah.
then I'm still like just running myself insane, doing as much as I can. I had a dude at the show I did at the Pair. He came up to me afterwards. He was like, "Hey, really great set." You're like, he's like, "You're breath of fresh air. Like, you're really funny." He goes, "But I like constructive criticism." I was like, "Fucking sure, let's hear it." He goes like, "You were so good," and he said like the last like 2 minutes or so, you like really seemed like you lost energy and this that. I was like, I don't know, man. I was
God.
tired.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Also, maybe you guys sucked. I don't know.
I was like, I told you the episode at the beginning of this set. It was a long fucking weekend for me. It's a Monday at 10 o'clock in Midtown.
I did a
right
show like earlier this year. I had to do my day job. I was like doing a job in Chicago, and then I had to drive 6 hours to Traverse City, Michigan, to do a spot that night. And I was tired as fuck because I had like woke up early and I had actually spent a lot of like social energy like doing this job where I was presenting some stuff and then driving all day. I was tired as fuck.
Yeah.
And the crowd was shitty. Everybody's kind of eating shit, but like I really bit it. and somebody came up to me afterwards, and it was the first day of a festival. And so I wasn't sure if it was like another comic that I just didn't know. So I wasn't going to be like rude to him.
Yeah.
But he was like,
Well, even
hey, just
even
like
if it's a fan, you're not going to be rude. You know.
Oh, she's like, fuck you.
well, like if I thought it was a comic, I'd be like, I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
But like if it but I didn't know who it was, so I was just like, yeah, like please, I can't wait. And he was just like, just maybe you should take a breath, and like just slow down sometime. And I was just like, dude, this is not going to help me right now. Like I was so fucking tired, and I was just the worst version of myself. But I had just eaten shit, and then some fucking 60-year-old looking Dilbert came up to me.
Yeah.
You said social energy, and I feel like that's something like people don't get. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's not hard what we do. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I talk for whatever,
I don't
a
know.
few
But
minutes.
I think it's hard. I mean,
I
it's
talk
hard.
for a few minutes. I mostly sit in the car listening to podcasts.
Sure.
Like, whatever. Like, it's not like crazy. It's not back. It's not like fucking driving a forklift or whatever the fuck you do at your day job. You know what I mean? It's not like crazy work. But it's like, after a show, when you're like coming down from like that like high, like basically we smoke meth, we come down, and then you come up to me and I have to fucking fake being fun.
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
like I had to give a shit what your fucking opinion
dude, it
is.
that's the social energy where I'm just like, I can't talk right now. I gotta like.
You should do this. I'll fucking kill you.
Like, I don't want to do anything ever again.
You're lucky I'm standing.
I wish
right
this
now
was
talking
the
to you.
end.
Yeah, but it's awesome. Whatever.
Comedy is great. I fucking love it. That's why we do it.
I just wish it paid better.
For sure.
I mean, and that's it. So I just saw Maria Bamford recently. She's like working out like a new hour or whatever, and she's been like working it out like morning spots here in Brooklyn.
Morning spot.
Yeah, she's been doing 10 a.m. shows.
Where?
In at Brooklyn Comedy Collective. It's it's kind of a scene of like kind of improv-y, quirky young kid kind of stuff.
Oh, so like she's their
So I fucking hate it.
she's their
God.
god.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just
Which-
kissing the fucking
Also, if
ground.
you have a draw like Maria Bamford, I'm sure people will come out at 10 a.m.
Yeah, so she had done she was going to do 1 week of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They all sold out, so she did another week, and that's when I finally got to go. That she's doing it this week, so she'll be here anyway. So she's working on new material, but she's talking about like a lot of it's about like money, and it's about like being transparent about like money and stuff, and it's like an interesting because she's done stuff about money. She did like a speech, a commencement speech one time, and was like, this is how much I got paid to come here, and this is how much I'm going to I want to give it to somebody that's in here. But the whole commencement speech was about like asking for what you're worth and all that shit. And she's just like really interesting to listen to.
Dude,
right
that
now.
is like I talk about this all the time, like with people who like grew up punk. Like I do not know how to ask for my worth.
For sure.
Same.
Like
For
people
sure.
are like, "Yo, can you do this?" And I'm like, "Sure." I don't even and then like, "Oh, all I have is like $50." I'm like, "That's cool, man."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll drive 8.5 hours and sleep on your couch for $50, and it's like, stop doing that.
Even like my
Yeah.
friend, like my
Stop
friends ask
saying
me to do a
yes.
show. Like if it's somewhere out in New England, like if it's in the city, like whatever, I'll be there. It's not hard to get there. But yeah, if I had to drive somewhere, like my friend's like, "I'm gonna do this show," I still feel weird being like, "What's it gonna pay?" me?
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, "Oh, but we're friends, and who are you?" Like, because also you're like, I guess I'm a nobody, but like still.
All right, I have two things to say about that. One, yeah, I'm a nobody, but I'm not just anybody. There's
Yeah,
that.
nice.
And two, yeah, I'm a nobody, but you need a comedian, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just selling chicken wings. So pay the comedian.
Well, I guess, but I guess
Sure,
for me,
sure.
it's like, okay,
But if
why
you-
would they choose me?
But no. But they chose you.
Okay.
So if they're gonna, all right, it's very easy for me to say to someone else. When it comes to me, I do the same thing.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna say it out
Well, they
loud.
regurgitate it back to
Right,
you.
but I'm gonna say it out loud
Yeah.
so we fucking reinforce this.
All right.
If you take $20, then they're gonna think they can give everyone $20.
Yeah.
And $20
Sure.
is too low.
No.
So you're doing a disservice to everyone else by taking the $20. So that's something we have to remember too, right? Because without you, they don't have anyone on that stage.
Yeah.
Without someone willing to take $20, no one's on that stage. And then they have to pivot and start booking acoustic guitar guys. And who's coming out for that?
Sure.
Nobody. So that's,
Yeah.
I understand that we're nobody, but
Almost,
one,
yeah. I always
we're
the
not-
mentality of like, oh, they'll just fucking find someone who will do it for
Yeah,
$20.
but-
If I say I want 80,
but they're not going to be as good as you.
fair.
It's hard too though, because what I end up doing is like I rationalize it and say like, all right, well, it'll pay for the gas and part of the room for the night, but then I'll make connections and stuff, and that's not completely wrong, but it
Yeah.
is like such an easy way to rationalize your way out of making any sort of
100%.
living.
So that is something that I do ask for now. I always say, and I need a place to crash. I'm not picky. I'll sleep on your couch.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
need a place to crash.
Yeah, I should do that.
And if you're gonna put me in an econo lodge, don't. You know what I mean? Like it either has to be like a real place or your house
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
someone's like I'm not saying you have to spend money, but you have to do like if
little
you're gonna
work.
put me in econo, you have to do a little bit of recon. Like I'm not getting robbed
For sure.
in my
Motel
hotel
6?
room. Yeah, no.
That's
It's got to be a hotel with a door.
That's what's hard. Like, I can't just go and just crash on whoever's couch like, I'm not safe to just do whatever they've got. And it sucks.
I'm very lucky for that. Yeah. Because I can sleep on the floor. Yeah.
And like, but I'm constantly like thinking
I don't
like,
sleep on the floor.
oh, I would just, I just need somewhere to like
Well,
take
you know.
like a 3-hour nap and then I'll get back on the road or something,
Yeah,
like sometimes like I've stayed in motels where I'm like, oh, I should just sleep in the car. Like at least I could go to a rest stop where there's
Yeah.
lights.
I'm not gonna put anyone on blast, but I did do a show recently where I was like, and I need a place to stay, and they put me in a fucking like, I walked into it, like I walked into the hall, and I was like, oh, I'm not, like it's just not safe to be here. Like it's just,
They put you
I
at
don't-
someone's,
For
they put you
sure.
at someone's place or hotel?
No, at a hotel.
A
that
motel.
yeah,
Motel, I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, motel.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not saying I need you to spend a ton of money, but like for another $20, we could have really fucking
Could've
done
balled
some-
Yeah.
we could have done some damage for another $20.
Yeah, I often end up spending like all of my pay on like a room where I'm just comfortable sleeping.
And hotels are out of control right now.
Yeah, it's insane right now.
So yeah, like I and again, like I don't mind sleeping. Like my buddy Tyler in Louisiana, he booked me 3 shows, like a headline run. Yes, headliner, but I'm,
You're
like
so
we
bad
said,
at
shut
just
the fuck up.
let's find
all right. But the point is,
Oh, your work,
Jesus
fucker.
yeah, he
Christ.
put me up, but he put me up at his place on the couch, totally fine,
Great.
and he drove me to the shows.
Oh, that's great.
So it's
That's-
like, and he's a dope hang, and we did like a workshop. Like we invited, so like that Saturday afternoon, I do this like a lot when I'm like staying with people. Be like, can your scene support like a pop up mic or some kind of workshop? So he was like, no, but we can invite people over and grill sausage, and like have like a little like writing
Hang,
session.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and then the next day I did that in Mississippi on my way through. Like we just stopped, and like again that scene couldn't support it, but like 5 or 6 of us.
I see value in that, but like what's
Yeah.
what's your purpose of doing that?
The value, like the like.
Like what do you like why
Build it.
what specifically are you doing it for?
Well, I guess 3 things. One, I just like being social. Like I like hanging out with other comics. I think it's a lot of fun. I like meeting people. Like that is kind of one of the big things that makes me tour. Just like getting to like meet tons of people and stuff. 2, it makes you better to work on other people's jokes. Like it because like sometimes like whatever, like when you're working on an hour or whatever, like I spent the past year working on the stuff for the special, so like there was never like a brand new thing that I could go from the very beginning and do all the mechanics.
Yeah.
And like now it's like if I do one of those, it's like, well, I can pitch tags to 6 bits or like fine tune or whatever, like whatever the thing needs.
Think differently
Yeah.
because you're also, your material is a lot of times so like garnered towards you and your experience, okay,
Yeah.
it's easy to look into.
Yeah.
Oh, someone testing I have no idea about, but
Yeah,
now I
yeah,
can kind of think of it differently.
Yeah, and then I think another big thing about it. Well, one thing is, and this isn't the reason, but this is a perk of it, and this goes back to the punk rock days also. Like when you let a band sleep on your floor, like I'm friends with that band forever. Like I needed a place to sleep in Huntsville, and I called my buddy Gabe, who played drums for a band North Star. They slept on my floor, and I was like, "Hey, is there anywhere I can crash in Huntsville?" And he was like, "Yeah, here, 100% every time." And that's like universal. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I let Luke borrow my car, I get to stay at his place. Like it's just that mentality, which is not the reason to do it, but it like I'm a generous person, and then it comes back to me. You know what I mean? Like I've been cool to people my whole life, so when it was like, I want to do a GoFundMe for the special, like so many people, like the outpouring was like phenomenal. And it's like, oh, it's like because I like as much of a piece of shit as I was, like sometimes, like I've always been cool to other people. You know, like I've always been like kind and friendly, and you know, like no celebrity hierarchy.
Egotistical.
Like like I don't care if you're in the biggest band or an open micer. Like I'm gonna treat you exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a huge part of it is to like pass that on. You know what I mean? So like I go to Mississippi and I talk to like 6 open micers about their jokes, and to them I'm like a, you know, not that I'm a
Yeah, you're a national head, you know,
yeah,
national touring comic.
I'm a touring comic.
Yeah.
I'm a New York comic.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And, you know, if you talk to me about comedy, you can hear that I know, you know, that I understand the craft. And I think, like, it leaves an impression on those people, and then those people are going to be good people moving forward. You
For
know
sure.
what I mean? Those people are going to do the hand-me-downs.
Comedy.
You know what I mean?
Comedy Gandhi.
But
No,
just
I
like,
get what you're saying.
just
No,
like,
no, yeah.
because if anyone asks me, like, what's the most important thing about comedy, like, what do I need to work on? Like, be cool.
Yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
be cool every time. Be cool. Just be cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be that's a better currency than fucking anything else. You know what I mean?
That's what I
be
tell-
someone that people want to be around. That's what they.
Yeah.
Because no matter how good a comic you are, they're gonna want you back.
Yeah.
If you're a terrible hang, no one wants to sit in the car with you for 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The fact that I'm a fun person to be around, or like I'm good conversationalist, or like, you know, like I'm a good listener. You know what I mean? Like that matters to people, and like, yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like having like I feel like I've been very lucky with some like growth like early on and stuff and everything, and I feel like when people ask me like how did that happen, I'm like, dude, just be good to people, like
Yeah.
just like be decent to be around, because like all of us like we're like obviously be good and work and like
Yeah,
be
work hard, put
funny
your
and
head down,
actually
work
do
hard.
your
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
but like also like all we have to do sometimes is just be around each other. And like if you're a piece of shit to be around, or if you're just exhausting, or you're
Yeah.
not fun, like you could be the funniest person around, and people are like, well, I don't
wanna
want to
spend
have
my
to
time with
spend
them.
another afternoon
Yeah.
with, you know. And so it's just like be decent, and then work
It's not
hard
that hard.
as well.
It's not that hard.
It actually is more energy to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was in Staples today, and like the guy online, I was like, "Is this the line?" And he's like, "I think so." And I like looked at the lady behind him, like, 3 people takes like I think 3 people's a line. And the lady was just like,
Dude,
and I was like,
what?
"All right, like it took
Like, that was
energy to
fun.
ignore me." I was like, "All right, lady." And then like the next guy was like, he had 2 papers, and he was like, "What's the difference between these 2 pieces of paper?" And the lady behind the counter was like, "That's 36 pounds. That's 110 pounds," and like that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I made eye contact with him and when she said that, he looked around, and I looked at him, and we were both like, he was like, "Yeah, that doesn't help," and I'm like, and then the lady immediately was like, "What kind of paper are you looking for?" And I was like, 110 pounds. And I'm like, "Get killed in the Staples." And then that one lady was just like, I'm like, "Get in your car and drive into a tree." All right, thanks for watching. What do you got coming up? This is 4 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's breaking the
our-
fourth wall.
our 3-month
I
break.
don't know. I'm doing a couple fast like.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I'm
You know what
sure.
I'm saying?
No, I'm doing altercation. I'm doing Austin.
Oh,
I'm
right.
doing
Dude, I'm still
Ha
mad
Ha
about it.
Harvest.
You got on that one twice. And
Oh, yeah,
and I was
yeah.
rejected.
Wait,
It's the only festival I applied to.
she's on the flyer twice.
Yeah. Well, no, she was for the list of comics who got in. Bailey's on it twice. So I had to read that while not finding my name. I had to read Bailey's twice.
I'm doing another one in Portland, Oregon, which will be fun.
Oh, that's dope.
I haven't been there.
You said you did one in Alaska, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Do you know the name of it?
It was the
Before
one that
You
happens.
Die?
Yeah, Alaska Before You Die.
Before you
Uh,
I was in a group and someone like sent an Alaska one. And I was like, maybe I'll do it.
It was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and they
They
set up
just 'cause,
some
like,
cool
fly
stuff for you to do.
out?
No.
Oh yeah, because
No,
they mentioned they'd take you whale watching, and like even that's one I'm willing to lose money on because it's fucking Alaska.
that was my thought. That was my
it
thought
sounds
for
cool.
sure.
And my
Yeah.
boyfriend was like wants to go too, so I was like,
I
that
would like
might be
to-
one to go.
I would like to. That's like a kind of like. I hate like talking about goals and stuff, but like, that's like something where I'm like, that's a goal is like to be able to headline where I can earn enough money that I can like go do shows in Alaska.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like afford to fly there, stay there, see Alaska on the money I make on those shows.
For sure.
Like that's like
yeah.
I mean, they like the people who run that fest like have like a good connection of like a run that you could do. Like if like I think that what David Bory did was one of the headliners.
David
and
Borealis?
Sheen. I like that, but I hate that you interrupted me.
Sorry.
I think that they had set him up with a run and like I don't know, it's a fun fest. They like had like a chartered bus to take us to see some stuff,
Yeah.
and it's a cool
Yeah, I feel like
spot.
that one was like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna enter that one.
And plus, like you're in Alaska. Like, how are you not going to hang out with a bunch of comics?
Yeah.
Me and like you guys know Jeff Greenspan
course.
was New York and is Chattanooga right now. He and I like got like close. Well, we had met in Chattanooga prior to that, but like we did a bunch of cool shit there, and I don't know. It was just like obviously you're gonna like hang out and actually get to know other people
Yeah.
when you're like. You have no other options except to Alaska together.
Yeah, that's definitely one I want to.
Yeah,
It
it's
seemed worth
fun.
it overall.
Yeah.
Like,
And then Snow Jam. I know they fly people out.
I literally just because I just
'Cause you met Dan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
finally met Dan. It was funny, like when we met, I was like, because I've known of him for so long that I thought we had to have met, but we had not actually met in person. But I just submitted to Snow Jam.
Did you say I said hi?
Yeah, we talked about you specifically. Does that make you feel good?
Yes.
Ugh.
I like how you. Yes.
I mean, it does. I like that. I like making connections. We just talked about that. I like.
No, I mean like there is something like really
Weaving people together.
I love like
Tapestry of love.
like being in a city that I haven't ever been to, and then like feeling like grounded the minute you're like, oh, we are 1 degree and now we
Yeah.
are friends. Like
That was when I was in Portland. Like I felt, I don't know, like I felt like I fit in and like people liked
Well,
my
everyone
stuff
there
and-
looks like you.
True,
Fair,
but also
fair.
like, well, so the comic who kind of got me in touch with people, Adam Pacey. He was like, he posted in the group. He was like, yeah, I got a comic coming in the area. He's a gay redneck metalhead. You should eat this shit up.
hell yeah. That is Portland.
And then like the comics. One of the comics who I did her show, like she was like, oh, next time you come back, I'll get you like a whole like run of shows and stuff like that. And I was like, sweet, like
That's
this
what's up.
fucking worked out.
Do either of you guys know Olivia Searcy?
Oh yeah, like
You should say.
Florida,
she'd love him,
China,
probably,
yeah. Yeah, she's
books
she's
a lot
busy.
of stuff. Yeah.
Fucking, I had no luck in L.A.
Well,
LA's a
you know,
tough
No one
nut.
fuck-
Yeah,
I went and did the
LA.
fucking open mic at Flappers.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And then I watched three of the comics in front of me talk about the class they did.
What's it called? L.A. I remember. You know Justin Herman? Do you guys know Justin Herman?
I don't think
I know
so.
that fucking name.
He moved out there. He's a great dude, great comic. He moved out there, and he was like, I'm asking people at open mics, how to get shows, and they're like, I don't know, man. He has an Emmy. He's at an open mic.
Jesus.
I fucking
People with
tried-
Emmys
Dude,
are just
I mean,
at open
Jonah
mics
Ray,
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
he couldn't find me a fucking show.
Yeah.
Like he recently started
Wow.
following me because but like I was like, hey man, I'm sorry if I'm asking because I feel like a piece of shit. But like, do you know anything happened that I could get on or stuff like that? And he was like, oh, that's and I'll look, but everything's not like that. I was like, but
He ran Meltdown, and now he just doesn't have any connections. Fuck.
I think he like focuses on his band now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said like all the ones. I was only there. Granted, I was there for a very small window,
but
and it was
still.
like kind of last minute.
Dude, it's
but,
LA.
like,
You'd think there'd be stuff every night.
yeah.
Doesn't he do? Wasn't he doing a Mystery Science Theater thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
is
don't
he
think,
doing
yeah,
that
well,
too?
I mean, I don't think it's going on anymore. Like it's on
I don't-
Netflix,
yeah, I didn't
but
know.
but even
Oh,
still, like
okay.
I was like couldn't find, so I didn't open like at Flappers. While the Burbank, I did it. And it's funny because the Burbank Comedy Festival was happening at like the same time.
Oh yeah.
So I was just like in the upstairs by the bar doing that.
I've
Brutal.
not. Yeah.
I mean, a couple people liked me. There's people someone from Baltimore was like, I got shows in Baltimore. I can book you on. I was like, all right, at least get something out of this fucking
Yeah.
shit.
Baltimore's just a day drive, so
Yeah,
a
exactly.
couple hours.
Exactly. So that's not too bad. But yeah, but again, I didn't. I was trying to focus on like the trip itself too, not try to overdo it with comedy.
Sure.
Because we were also playing where we were going pretty loosely. Like we changed our path a lot and things like that.
That sounds great.
But also, you don't want to like bum out your partner either.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you and your partner are like, hey, we're gonna go on like a road trip, and then like secretly you're like, I'm just gonna do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I did a couple. I went to Denver. I did a show in Denver that was like, I couldn't get on to anything, but my friend from Worcester was out there and he was on a show. I went to hang out and the guy running it just put me on.
Hell yeah.
And it went great. And he was like, yeah, next anytime you come back,
You're
like
probably crushing Denver, right? People. you
I've
do
done a
tons
lot of
of stuff?
Colorado this
Yeah.
year. I really enjoy it.
I like Denver a lot.
And Boulder as well
City.
is great.
I really liked it. And then you leave Denver and you're in Kansas and it sucks ass. Can't fucking Kansas.
Eastern Colorado
Missouri,
is just
into
yeah,
Kentucky,
it's
and I was
brutal.
like,
I thought you were
Fuck.
gonna go south, and I was gonna get real mad.
No,
the
no.
70 is just. I mean, it's just like 8 hours
I was,
of
but
flat.
it was just like Colorado's right there. It's
I like
beautiful.
that.
yeah.
We went to
Because
we went to
also
an
it's
amusement
like
park on a
beautiful.
mountain.
You're like driving like
Through
along that
mountains,
river
yeah.
and everything, and then suddenly it's just flat.
You guys are being dicks to flat, but
Fuck flat.
All right.
Fuck
flat's
flat.
cool too, though. Yo,
No, it's
flat's
not.
cool because you're
Kansas
driving
sucks.
and you can see like.
Kansas.
Are you pretending that you still live in OKC?
I just like those trips because like you can see like storms 100 miles away, and it just like looks sick. Like you just see like lightning, like fucking.
The sky goes a long way everywhere.
Nah, it's different. It's a little different out there.
Yeah.
I like it down there. I like Kansas
It's
and
8
Oklahoma.
hours. And I
Yeah.
didn't even see that many storms. I saw some dark clouds over there, but then I was looking back there and it was fucking nothing.
Ah, it's cool.
And I was like, what are you people doing? Colorado is right there. We went to the amusement park on a mountain.
You went to what?
An amusement park on a mountain.
On a mountain.
It was
Oh.
pretty sick.
What in
Colorado.
like Vale area? Like where? Where?
Glenwoods? I can't remember the fucking name.
Like Colorado
Two-
Springs?
it was
area?
about 2 hours from. It was about 2 hours from Denver.
West
South,
of
north,
Denver.
east, west.
West.
Okay.
West.
Pretty like Colorado
Red Rock.
Springs
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was
area.
fucking. It was
South-
so cool.
Colorado Springs is south of Denver.
Isn't it out just past, like out further past Vale?
Colorado Springs, south.
What the fuck is it called?
Colorado Springs is on the way to Albuquerque.
Oh, I'm okay.
Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. There we
Glenwood.
go. Glenwood. It was fun. It was a very small amusement park, but it was on a mountain. It was fun.
That's fun. Oh yeah.
I enjoyed it. But yeah, Colorado rules. I like Portland. I like Colorado.
I don't like Portland.
I didn't care
You
for
don't.
San Francisco.
I don't love San Francisco.
I mean, like Oakland. Like I
Oakland's
feel
cool.
like that's the
Berkeley's
thing.
cool.
Is,
Oakland's cool because the place I was in was rough. You
I mean,
know?
Yeah,
Oakland
but
is like
yeah,
a
it's
little.
rhyming.
It's,
But,
it's
got
quite
rhyme
it's
to it.
spotty.
But yeah, San Francisco. We went to the park. We went to that festival, Outerlands, and it was a huge festival.
In
but
San
it's
Francisco?
yeah, but like this was not my crowd. You could tell. This is a
Oh,
lot.
is it EDM? Outerlands?
Everything. Lana Del Rey was there,
Oh.
but Foo Fighters were there. That's why I was mainly
Wait,
there
what?
for.
Where was it
But it
in San Francisco?
San Jose.
yeah, yeah.
Los Angeles.
It's Berkeley.
I don't fucking remember it. Golden Gate Park.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's it.
sure.
Yeah.
I guess that makes
Um,
Pretty.
sense.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Just we drove. We went across the Golden Gate Bridge to like the area to view it.
Yeah.
Couldn't see it. It was
Oh,
completely
it's-
fogged
oh,
over.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because we did like the Alcatraz trip once.
Yeah.
And it was like super foggy, so it was like, well, this is a pointless.
Yeah,
this is a pointless-
we were so paranoid
What-
about our car though.
Wait, why did the fog matter? You went to Alcatraz so you can look at San Francisco?
Alcatraz. No, so you look at Alcatraz.
Well, you
But
can go there. You can
No, but like, no. Once we're on, I'm just saying like the view. Like, you
Oh,
can't,
okay.
Like,
I
you
couldn't
want, like,
see
I'm
that's
not. I'm
part
not
of it.
actually trying to be mean right now. I was trying to
it's just
understand, and I know
natural,
that
it's
that's
just-
how
It
it
is the
sounds.
And I am very like,
Don't hurt me.
you've beaten the bark out of me.
Hell yeah. Well, we're time is just about up actually. So, anything that you guys want to plug for October, like anything that you got going on?
I'm doing a taping for a new company called DTF. They're running shows up
DTF.
in Connecticut, but they're doing like really high quality videos, like really good stuff.
Sick.
So it, nothing crazy, 10-minute, but it'll be like it's very similar to
Don't
Don't
Tell,
Tell.
yeah.
That with my buddy who
Oh,
runs it is
yeah.
real, like the quality they're putting
DTF,
out.
don't tell comedy. Don't tell comedy. Then we're doing the same thing.
Yeah, they just did like the first one of that.
Yeah, they just released, yeah.
Yeah, Sasha, my co-producer, did
No,
that.
that's right. Yes, he was on it. They had a bunch of Connecticut and Boston.
He's
Yeah,
very
I
funny.
popped
He's
in.
very funny.
He's like, yeah, he's way better than people his age usually are. He's like 20. He just turned 26. No, I just whatever. So, but I popped in when they were doing the recording for the first one, and it's like a great setup.
Yeah, they're doing this one that I'm doing is up in Connecticut. It's a place called Illicit Brewing.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. That's like the major thing. I'll have a few more things coming up in October.
I saw footage, and it's
yeah,
really
my buddy
good.
who started it, like filmmaking is his shit. So,
Hell yeah, that's
so
awesome.
I'm looking forward to that.
Congrats on
I
that.
got a new 10.
Yeah,
Let your buddy know.
I know. I will. I fucking will. Yeah, then that's the main thing I have. But some other stuff coming up. Hopefully, start traveling around a little bit.
Hell yeah.
That's about it.
I've got. I'm gonna do Baltimore, and then I'm gonna
When are you in
go
Baltimore?
sometime in October. Kenny Rosen is somebody I met at a festival recently. She's incredible, just very loud, fast, really super funny comic out of Baltimore. Is putting some stuff together. Baltimore, I think I'll be in Maine for like a one-off, and I might try to patch some stuff around it. I've been trying to slow down with the fests, and so October is a little bit like
This
relaxing.
one. She does so many
Uh,
fests. She's like, I gotta chill with
No,
it.
I'm
to
in
40.
fucking
I get accepted too
Somebody was
many.
like, "Wow, I'm just really like it's cool to see that you're
You
doing." And I
accepted
was
so
like,
many, you
"Yeah,
accepted twice in them."
I'm in debt from all this success."
Well, stop entering twice in the same festival.
Fuck you.
I think fuck you. That's how I felt. I went down that list and I went, oh, Bailey. I was like, oh, sweet, good for her. And I saw your name again and I was like, yeah, fuck her.
Did you ever do? You did Skankfest last year.
I'm not done
I
Skankfest
never
yet.
see when the signups are to submit. I never see it.
It
and
doesn't.
I'm
It's
so
not
mad.
on the regular list.
I
of
know,
things.
but now I'm just gonna ask Zach because
Yeah.
I opened for him. I should just be like,
Oh,
Zach,
right
can you
on.
just like put my name in there next time?
Let me know because I don't know anything about that circle.
I keep getting denied.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like maybe they just don't even like watch your material, and
Maybe
they're
you're
like,
too
we don't
cutesy.
need another
You're too gay.
Big J.
I don't know. I get
We're-
turned,
You're
I get
too
turned
gay.
down for a lot of stuff.
Me too.
Well, but now we're doing a podcast together, so it's not completely. Where are you going to be at
Look, I'm
in
friends with her.
October?
She approves. Yeah.
Everywhere. You're going to be with Ben Bailey.
10 Days with Ben in October. Liz in November. Oh, Ashley in November.
Oh, you didn't get into Skankfest. I'm sorry.
And yeah. And another 10 Days with Ben Bailey in December. We're doing Florida We're doing Key West. I'm very excited for
What's
that.
what's Ben's audience like?
It's
Cash Cab fans.
it's across the board.
They're just trivia fans.
Maybe it's.
I just think I think he's so funny.
He's great.
so funny.
He's so
funny.
I still show like that.
I didn't know his comedy, but before I was like, I watched Cash Cab, and then when I saw his shit, I was like, oh,
He
he's
like
like a
6'5".
real comic,
Yeah. He's
He's
one. Yeah,
so
definitely one of those.
good.
Yeah.
and I didn't know
Is he
that.
like 6'5"? How tall is
Oh,
he?
he's a big
Yeah,
dude.
he's a big fucking dude.
Like,
Really?
He
Yeah,
dwarfs
at least
me.
6. He's like at least 6'3".
Yeah.
6'4", yeah.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
We were walking in Austin, and I was like something happened over here, and we just kind of like walked through it, you know. And I was like, we were both I was like, can you imagine like being like a small woman? Like you would have to cross the street right there. And he's like, yeah, I think about that all the time. We're just like really respect our side. Like we really respect that we don't.
I walk around with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I put him on the outside of me when shit's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him murder. Like I've seen him do like for like a full 6 minutes without saying a real word, just like faces and sounds, and just people are falling out of their chairs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like he's just so many tools. Like he's just like I mean whatever. He's been doing it for like 30 years. Like
He seems
he's
like
just a
somebody who
killer.
just like is good at connecting.
yeah. He's just fucking a great dude. Like yeah. I'm not just saying that like. He'll never
Yeah.
see this. I'm not impressing him.
That's fine.
Like he's
You're not
fucking-
showing him on the road. Just be like, hey, we got this drive. We got this podcast to listen to.
With like a portable DVD player.
Yeah. Oh, I talked about you. Look at all the nice things I said about you.
My friends like you too.
Yeah, he's a killer. Yes, we're doing Key West and like a bunch of other stuff in Florida, so that's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
And then I think by now it's probably been announced. Taking West Sunday holiday shows, so that's 2 in New York and 2 in Jersey.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so those will be difficult to do, but a lot of fun to be at.
I can't
Fuck
believe they
yeah.
were in Kansas City when I was in Kansas City.
Yeah,
They were like
Yeah.
literally playing like a 6 minutes from the hotel.
they
I
were
was
playing
staying
like a big
at.
thing. Yeah. He texted me like the next day. I
I was like, fuck! I just saw that they were like here.
yeah.
Because when we showed up, and we pulled into the hotel, the guy like taking their car, so that was just like, "You here for the concert?" I was like, "What concert?" And I was like, "Please don't be one of the ones I think you're gonna say." And he was like, "I'm not sure." And I looked up who was around. I was like, "It's fucking Jelly Roll, goddammit."
Oh,
It's
what a
always that.
bummer.
And then like I towards the end of the trip, we went to a Korean barbecue place, and our waiter, like after about a half hour of being there, he comes up to us. He goes, "Hey, when you walked in, I really thought you were Luke Combs." And I was like, he's like, really? And he like see me getting like upset. He's like, yeah, but like, he's a really good looking guy. I'm like, no one thinks that.
But you're a good looking guy.
Thank you. I'm better.
I get that too. Like I walk, like, oh, you look like, and then it's like I'm like another fat person. Like yes, I look like I look like are you guys like just all face blind? Like all fat people look exactly the same to you?
The only you look likes that I've had for a long time never really made sense because when I first started transitioning, people thought Jeffree Star. But then as I got
I mean, in
further
that
into
picture, I could maybe
transition,
see it.
further into transition was Kat Von D. And
Well, that's just That's
it's
like,
just-
oh, you're a tattooed lady.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's just dumb. That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
fucking dumb.
well, website for all your stuff.
Yeah.
Neil,
It's in the description.
You know what? You know what? I'm just trying to keep some structure here. All right.
We thank you for it.
All right. You know what? We're not doing outros. I
she's-
love you. Bye.
Bailey's-
See you in the pit.
Bye.
Bailey's the pod mom.